Good morning and welcome to our fifth grade year graduation. We're so glad that you could come be with us today. And if you aren't able to be here, we are recording it so you can share with family, friends, and grandparents who were not able to be here. We are so grateful to have our DARE program. I know when my kids were in elementary school, they had the DARE program and they learned so many life skills through the program and through the lessons and how to make good decisions. So your kids have worked really hard. They've also all written an essay, and we'll find out about the essay winners today. But we're so proud of them and the hard work they've done. We're also so thankful for Sheriff Chitwood and Lieutenant Tammy Silvers, who have provided the DARE program for all Whitfield County schools, especially for ours. So without further ado, let's go ahead and start our program.
I'd like to thank you for coming out today and joining us for our DARE graduation. I've actually been in the class teaching for the last 11 weeks. And in the classroom, we talk about a lot of different things. We talk everything from making good choices, and that's a daily thing that we talk about, is making those good choices. We also talk about drugs. The main ones we talk about is alcohol, tobacco, prescription, which is the over-the-counter and prescription drugs. We also talk about peer pressure, bullying, making those good friendships and picking those friends wisely. We discuss stress and how to deal with stress. So in these 11 weeks, we have a lot of different things we talk about. And I really enjoy and thank you for letting me come in and teach your child for these past 11 weeks. They are wonderful kids and very polite, very great group of students, and I really enjoy teaching them. Before we start with diplomas and stuff, I would like to give my teachers and principal a token of our appreciation. I'd like to give them a water bottle for allowing me to come into the school and teach this program. So Ms. Harris, Ms. Moore. If it wasn't for the schools allowing us to come in and teach this, we wouldn't be able to. It has to be approved by the Whitfield County Board of Education, and we have to be approved to come in. I have two other DARE instructors here today. I'd like to recognize Officer Ron Kirby and Officer Nathan Center. They're both DARE officers as well, and they teach at other schools, and we really enjoy coming in and teaching this program in all of our elementary schools. I would like to call up Sheriff Chitwood and ask him to say a few things before we begin with diplomas. If it weren't for the sheriff's office allowing me to do this full time, I wouldn't be able to do this. Actually, we are assigned to the DARE unit full time, and we get to come in and teach and work with kids. And we also work with pre-K through fourth grade as well. So, Sheriff.
If I get this adjusted, I'm a little bit taller than the rest of them. I just have to hold it. Good. Okay, well, thank you, parents, grandparents, for coming out today. As Lieutenant Silver says, this is the DARE program that she's been in the classroom for about 11 weeks. Okay, we teach this at all 13 elementary schools in Whitfield County. And as she mentioned, we have to be approved. We can't just walk into the classroom and say we want to teach a course. We have to be approved by the Whitfield County Board of Education. But this is a program that is taught nationwide. It's an international program. We teach in Tokyo, London, Paris, Los Angeles, Chicago, and Miami, Denver. So I say that to you to share that it's not just something that we do together. This is something that is really managed, it's structured, it's organized, it's overseen by a board from the state of Georgia. So it's a curriculum that they strictly have to follow. They have to be certified to teach it. I'm not. I had been to the DARE class to get certified. They are certified instructors. Now the schools are kind enough to let me come in. I can visit the students pretty much any time that I want to, but to teach a course like this that has a strict guideline curriculum, you have to be certified. So I just share that with you for the importance of this DARE program. Okay? As she mentioned, we're talking about drugs, and games, and bullying, and alcohol, and tobacco, all the vices that are out there on the street today that wasn't there when I was in school, or maybe not as prevalent when y'all were in school. There's a lot more things out there now that are so tempting to the younger students, okay, the younger kids coming up today. So the national statistics say that somewhere in that 11, 12, 13-year age bracket, that's when the kids start getting exposed, tempted to some of those things on the street. So that's why we teach it in the 5th grade, so we can go ahead and plant that seed just to say that. Just walk away. A few years are going to be the high school seniors coming up. I assume if they stay in this district, it'll be at Northwest or Cahaba, and they're going to be the leaders at high school. Okay, so if we can plant that seed now, get it and plant it for them just to say no. Because they're going to be exposed. They're going to be tempted as they get older. Y'all know that. We know it. There's drugs. I'll be the first to tell you. You know. But that's why we teach it, so they can know just walk away. Because it's going to be out there. We do a graduation like this because we think it's very honorable for a 5th grader to stand up and pledge publicly that they will remain drug free. So that's why we have a graduation. And that's what it is, students. You are graduating today. Okay? In just a few minutes, we'll come up by classes. We'll sound their name. They'll walk across the red carpet here. I'll give them a certificate. Lieutenant Silvers is going to give them some other items that she'll explain a little bit later. I'll ask you to hold your applause to the end of each class so we can probably hear their names be called and give each individual student the recognition that they have earned and what they deserve. So with those remarks, thank you so much for coming. Not only I hope that you're supporting what we do at the Sheriff's Office for this class, but more importantly, to support these students. Very, very important day for them, and I hope they are as proud of receiving the certificate as we are to give it to them. So again, thank you for your support and coming and be a part of the graduation.
Let's start with Miss Laura's class. Can you please stand?
Sophia Bailey. Brayley Ball. Bryce Barbary. Bristol Calhoun. Camden Cannon. Lexus Cantrell. Gregory Cantu. Becca Clayton. Allie Elliott. Molly Farmer. Amelia Green, Elizabeth Henderson, Haley Huffman, Miranda Jordan, Kenton McCollum, Nico Varaz, Sydney Patterson, Caden Hewitt, Micah Strickland, Randall Somerville, Abriana White, Wade Whitfield, Maya Wilson. Waylon Anderson, Dalen Bain, Maya Christie, Eli Connor, Ella Connor, Naomi Frere, Sophia Gamble, Marley Hamrick, Amelia Key, Caroline Key, Sienna McDade, Cameron Philpott, Peyton Pilcher,
Presley Ryer, Ruthie Rigsby, London Robinson, Bailey Sales, Emily Sanchez, Joshua Taylor, Braylon Weaver.
Y'all can't really see the way we're positioned here, but it gives me such a thrill when the students come by, how many are smiling from ear to ear, and so many have said thank you to me. So students, thank you, okay? That's very polite, and grown-ups notice stuff like that. So good job, very proud of you. One of the things in the DARE program that we ask the students to do is to participate in an essay contest. It ends up being a contest, but an essay writer. They turn the essays back into Lieutenant Silvers. She brings them back to the sheriff's office. She is not great on it because naturally she's got a personal relationship with the students. We want it to be above board, as fair as we can possibly make it. She will let the other DARE instructors read them. We've asked the supervisors to do it. I've read them before. We've gone as far as to send them out of county to other DARE instructors. And we do our very, very best to try. We stress that word, to try to select the best essay. These are some bright students back here. Y'all know that. So they make it very difficult for us, again, to even try to select the best essay. But we have done that, and we're going to announce the winner. They don't know who it is. We're going to ask that winner here to come up and read their essay. So listen to what they say. In years past, a lot of these essays have gotten a little bit personal, but it's in their own words. This is who we're here to honor today, the students and these graduates. So, with that little introduction, if the essay from Cohutta would come up, and I'm going to call, how about Miley Farmer? Okay, that's fine. Come up here, Miley. You want to? Come up here beside me. That's fine.
I've read this essay so many times because she would write a paragraph, we read it now, so I feel like I already know it. Okay. All right. Have you ever wondered what it is like to be in somebody else's shoes? Have you ever thought about somebody else's life? Well, we learned about this in DARE, and it's called empathy. Today I will share some other things we learned in DARE. In DARE, we learned about making the right friendships, which can save you a lot of trouble in some situations. Making the right friends is especially important to keep you and others from getting bullied. If you realize somebody isn't a good friend, you need to stop being friends with them. They might try to bully you, people you know, or your friends, to get you to be friends with them again. I know this because it happened to a family member of mine. Another great thing we learned about was making responsible decisions. For example, in our DARE book, we had a situation where a friend wanted to copy your homework because they could not finish theirs. A responsible decision would be to simply help them with their homework and then nobody would get in trouble. If you didn't do that, the teacher might see that you both have the same answers and you both would be in a heap of trouble. I would like to talk next about a thing called peer pressure. You might be wondering what peer pressure is, and I would be glad to tell you. Peer pressure is when somebody your age, a peer, tries to get you to do something. Peer pressure is a bad thing and can lead to a bunch of stress and maybe losing friends. I will tell you about confident communication now. You also might be wondering, how do you confidently communicate with somebody? Well, to confidently communicate with someone, you must act in a way that communicates your opinion while still respecting others. That is the most simple way to confidently communicate. I hope you know the word stress. Everybody has been stressed at least once in their life. Stress is any strain, pressure, or excitement about a situation or event. There are also some ways to get rid of stress or help it. Number 1, sleeping. Sleep is a powerful stress reducer. Following a regular sleep schedule calms and restores the body, improves concentration, regulates your mood, and makes you have better judgment and decision making. It will be easier to deal with stress when you have more sleep. Number 2, doing things you like, similar to sleep. It's easier to do something you like, a calm activity, to cope with stress. Number 3, eating with friends and family. Spending time over meals can reduce stress, but occasionally you can go eating with a friend or family member or make your favorite food at your house because it's just nice to have your favorite food when you're stressed. That is one of the best things we learned because you never really think about it that much. Okay, so imagine you're having a normal day. You think about what you're going to do and where you might go. You might not think about the risk that is involved in a normal day. For example, going to school is even a risk. Let's pretend you're riding to school. There could be a reckless driver on the road. The bridge you were driving over could just crumble right under your car. A deer can decide to just run in front of you. You can turn a curve too fast and flip the car. Those are only a few things that can happen in less than 10 to 20 minutes. All of that risk is included in one single day. Contrary to most of the things I've talked about, facts and effects of smoking and alcohol. Here are the negative effects of smoking and alcohol. First, alcohol. Alcohol slows down the brain and body. Some effects include loss of coordination, poor judgment, loss of self-control, and slow reflexes. Over 720,000 Americans die a year due to drinking and driving. There are many health effects of tobacco. Smoking causes heart disease. Smoking causes lung cancer. If you smoke cigarettes, it can make you have bad breath and yellow teeth. On the topic of smoking, due to recent research, scientists have found that vaping increases depression and dangerous metals have been found in the vapes. I would like to explain over-the-counter and prescription drugs now. First, over-the-counter drugs are any medicine that can be bought at a store. These medicines are not given or prescribed to any specific person. However, just because it is bought does not mean it should be taken in the wrong way. I'll touch up on that later. Prescription drugs are drugs that are prescribed to a specific person by a doctor, and no other person should take that medicine. To explain more on drugs and medicine, let's talk about labels on medicine and safe ways to take it. Safe ways to take medicine include 1, take it at the right time for the correct weight and age. I will explain why taking it at the right time is important. If you might need to take it at night in case of making you drowsy, on if you have an empty or full stomach, you don't take it on an empty or full stomach. The bottle will direct you on how to take it. You will have an increased chance of getting sick. If you are not the right weight when taking certain medicines, you might get sick. There are age requirements on every medicine too, and if you don't meet the right age requirements, it can make you sick and even send you to the hospital. Number 2, do not take too much. Taking too much medicine can be deadly, especially to young kids. Always take medicine with the given cup in the medicine box if it is a liquid medicine. One of those little tubes with the spoon at the end, or if it's pills, take only the correct amount. You can read the box and it will give information on how much to take, what time, and any warnings. If it is a prescribed medicine, it will have a special number on the label as well as who the medicine belongs to and what it treats. The bottle will also tell you other important information about the medicine, such as warnings, active ingredients, and inactive ingredients. You might be thinking, Miley, why does all of this matter? Well, I know nobody I know would do this, but I'll just use it as an example to encourage you to do research before taking drugs together. For example, if you take warfarin and ibuprofen, which are two commonly used drugs, you need to know this. Warfarin is a popular anticoagulant, okay, which means it reduces blood clots. It's often prescribed by a physician for those at a high risk of blood clot who currently get blood clots. People who get blood clots need this medicine because untreated blood clots can cause a stroke or heart attack. Ibuprofen, like Advil or Motrin, is a common over-the-counter painkiller. These two medications may seem fine to take together, but you see, when taken together, they can be horrible. Warfarin stops the blood from clotting and is commonly called a blood thinner. Ibuprofen also has blood thinning properties, so when you take them together, there's a bigger risk of serious bleeding complications. Simply, if you take these two drugs together, it can make it easier for you to bleed and harder for you to stop bleeding if you were to maybe cut yourself while cooking or doing anything that would make you bleed. It can even be bad if the complications are not properly dealt with. After reading this, I hope you consider all the things I talked about when I learned all of these things. I made a promise to myself and everyone that knows me and everyone who loves me. Here was the promise. I, Miley Mariah Farmer, pledge to be drug-free for the rest of my life, to become successful, educated, and happy with my life. This way I can pursue my dream of becoming a graphic designer and get paid money for the job I work. I promise to make responsible choices in my life and be the greatest person I can possibly be in my community.
Okay, so Miley, having won the essay contest here at the gets Darren. Darren, all the students know, is the mascot for the program. A little book satchel up here. As I mentioned, we do about 13 of these graduations a year. For her fifth grade in Woodfield County, roughly 800,000 students may graduate from it. This is about our 30th year of actually lost count. Let's just ballpark 30,000 students have gone through this program. Okay, so we've touched, we hope, a lot of lives. 99% every essay that's turned in ends in some manner the way Miley's did. I pledge to remain drug-free. I promise never to do drugs, never to do alcohol, whatever. So if they keep that promise, then we've done our job. That's what we look at. Miley, good job. In doing so many of these graduations, we learned that there are other students that we want to recognize, kind of in a second place, if we can call it that. How about Sydney Patterson? She won't have to read, we just want to recognize Sydney. And kind of in runner-up positions, how about Miranda Jordan? And then our last student we want to recognize is Haley Huffman. Congratulations to the essay winners, but students, remember, every one of you are winners. Okay, that's what you keep in your head. You're good. Parents, grandparents, I'm going to turn the mic back over to Lieutenant Silver for some closing remarks, but again, thank you so much for coming out. We couldn't do it without your support. I think the other students say the same thing. So again, thank you for taking time out of your day and coming to support your students. Thank you. Or your children.
Students, parents, I'm going to turn and talk to the students for just a moment. Students, you will receive several things when you come through. One of the things that you receive is your bookmark. Reading feeds your mind. That's how we learn. Read. So I encourage you to read on that. It keeps you familiar every day with the 4 steps to stay drug-free and making those good choices. Those good choices is something we have to make every single day. It's not just make them when we want to. We have to think about those steps and make them every day. You also receive a bumper sticker. Rules of the bumper sticker. So if I don't say this, you will do this. Do not go home and put this on your parents' card, okay? Make sure that if they put it on their card, they put it there. And if you put it on your wall at home, make sure it's okay with them before you put it anywhere, because that can take off pay, okay? So make sure that it's approved before you stick that bumper's degree in. You also receive a Dare Graduate card. When you get home tonight, I want you to put your name on there. It has a place for your name. Write that in with Sharpie, and I want you to keep this with you in your wallets, in your purses, wherever. This is your reminder that you are a Dare graduate. You made that promise to me, to your teachers, to your parents, grandparents, but most of all, you've made that promise to you. And you have to keep that promise to yourself, to stay drug-free, make those good choices, pick those friends wisely. Because we've talked about consequences and how you making one bad choice can change your entire life. All it takes is one bad choice. So we have to make those good choices every single day of our life. So keep this with you, and on the back is your ways to stay in charge. It's the ways to say no that we talked about and went over in class. The last thing you received was my business card. You can call me. The number on here goes directly to my office. I also have an email address on there. You can send it to me. Call me day or night. If you have a problem, you need something, I'm one of your contacts that you can call anytime. Remember, we talked about Health Network. Your parents are in that Health Network. You can go to them for anything. Go to them, talk to them, your parents, your grandparents, whoever, whatever that adult is, whoever that adult is that you trust, go to them. But you know you can also come to me. So call me, leave me a message if I'm not there in the office. If you leave me a message, or if you send me an email, it automatically comes to my cell phone. So I can check that and get back with you. You've accomplished a lot in these last 11 weeks. I'm proud of each and every one of you. I want you to continue to make those good choices. I will be checking in on you more, even in the middle school, even in high school, because I know that all of you are going to be successful in whatever you choose to do in your life. But the one thing that can destroy all that is turning to drugs. And if you turn to drugs, then you're giving away all your dreams. So make sure that you make those good choices every day. Stay drug-free. Pick those friends wisely. Every single day. Before we close, I would like to ask for the 4 Dare SA leaders to come up and help lead us in the Pledge of Allegiance. So the 4 would come up. You can leave Darren's there. Y'all walk in here. So y'all can come up. If everyone will please stand.
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Parents, I want to thank you for coming out, and thank you for allowing me to teach your child. It goes out to you as well. If you have any problems, concerns, you can take one of my business cards. You're welcome to call as well. Again, this concludes our program. Thank you so much, and we'll stay around for pictures as well.